Hi there, I'm Allie Elliott.
Hi everybody, I'm Allie Elliott. Welcome back. We're continuing with what started out as a more traditional photographic open style portrait and has now evolved into, I think I'm going to lean into master artist for this. If you're familiar with those terms, then you know the difference is kind of how you're judged, kind of the final product. But regardless, you can go back to some older videos if you're really interested in the differences. So I've been stewing on this all night because what started out as a really simple, let me show you. What started off as a really simple portrait, cut and dry, beautiful lighting, beautiful story, evolved into much more of a story. And I want to take every opportunity to close the side roads that you could take. And I think I'm leaning into using this as a master artist entry. And that will show my guide images. So this is what we started off with. And this is where we're at right now. There is a lot to do. And my first deadline, if I want to get judges' eyes on this in the ASP competition, my only opportunity is in the next 24 hours because even the late entry closes. And normally I have all this stuff done, early bird, first day, boom. But I let it sneak up on me. So I'm going to clean this up and then go ahead and prep. It's stressing me out a little bit because I rarely am I so unsure of what direction this is going to take. But let's go ahead, let's talk more do. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer and then go over, I've gone over her face, his face, most of the clothes, no, actually not probably the clothes, and not the chairs, not the backdrop, but I do want to go ahead and run my hand over, see, too heavy-handed, getting a little excitable, run my hand over the frame. This stuff, I want it to be cohesive and I want to make sure that I'm not dragging other elements together. So I don't want to drag this onto the table. I don't want to drag his sleeve onto the frame. So I've got to be really mindful. I don't want to lose the texture completely, but right now it's just a little much because this isn't the subject. I don't want to lose that. The main difference between photographic open and master artist is showing the guide images. So you, with master artist, you're showing what you had to work with. So you're showing your information and where you were able to take that. I believe that storytelling is pretty important regardless. But I feel like you have a lot more elements to use in master artist. This feels like it's not really. Okay. So this makes me nervous because I don't want to make it completely unrecognizable. But I just want it to kind of be a shadow of what it is. I want it to be easy to tell visually that what's in the locket is the same as what's on the frame, in the frame. and I don't want it to look. Did you see the thing a few years ago? It's probably, I bet it's been long. I bet it's been like 10 years ago, but where the art historians were supposed to be restoring these paintings, and they just, I think it was a painting of the Virgin Mary, and they just utterly destroyed it. Like to a comic level. It wasn't just a slip of a hand once. It was a slip, and then it was uh-oh, I've got to correct it, and then it was, I'm going to lose my job. I'm never going to work in this industry again. It was bizarre. Okay, so you can see where I've already done this. I'm at a pretty high strength too. There's a weird little highlight, blend that in. So I want to get to the point where it's all good so that I can, we'll back up here so I can show you. But all this that's behind them, I want to darken it because the lamp should be sitting up here. This should be significantly brighter than the front of that because I've already flattened it. I want to get this stuff that sits in front completely touched up first. So that's where we're at right now. And I've got these highlights that I want to maintain, and I want to hold on to that perfect shape. And we have not dodged and burnt the locket, so that's definitely something that I'm just going to kind of give a little brush stroke over that. So you can tell what's going on. It's recognizable, but it's not the focus. They're so cute. Okay, this is going to be kind of tough. I think I'm just going to loosely run my brush along it right now. Do I even want to do that? It's nice and crisp. I think I'll leave that. And that's something I can always adjust later. Sometimes I'll do this part in increments because I get nervous is the wrong word, but I get uncertain that I am going to want to go that deeply committed to smudging. All right, so I do see one little area that in her wrist that's kind of lost its color. So we'll go ahead and address that. And I'm going to go just outside so that I have somewhere to go to erase back. And then we'll just boost that a little bit. It got maybe some color drag or something onto it. And then take this just go right along the edge so we don't have any outline. Oh, scared me. Yay, new follower. Thank you. Appreciate that. I had my stuff turned down. I'm going to lower the opacity here because this is getting a little bright. But you can see where we were before and just kind of took that gray away. So I'm going to combine that with the back layer and then dodge those highlights just a little bit just to give her some shape and a little harder highlight. Because this is close to the most important parts of the story. And there's just one little smudge of, I might actually just paint that a little bit. See, it's just, oops, that's not helpful. This sometimes my stylus is, it's picking up a gray anyway. Just kind of take that gray out of there, and then I'm going to smudge that shadow back to where it was. And then there we go. I'm going to have to do that again here. You can kind of see this got a little messy. And I might actually just wait to clean that up after I darken what's behind it, because if I go in hard on cleaning that up and then have to completely redo it or undo it, you know, that sucks. I don't want to do that. So that's where we started, and that's where we're at now. Still quite a ways to go. That's really the difference between these two layers, is her hand. So I'm going to duplicate this again, and then this is going to be a little more precise. So I think I'll just go, I'll leave their hands as part of it because it's such a minor section, but we will have to address that for sure. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna darken that whole thing. And if you've watched me very long, you know that when you darken, you're draining the color out a little bit. In this scenario, I'm okay with that because that warm lamp light wouldn't be hitting that portion of the lamp anyway. And I'm not sure that's even dark enough. Let's go a little bit darker. We just want, in this screen that is more similar to what you guys are seeing, it doesn't look as dark. And in my screen, I think the face light is maybe messing with me a little bit, but I'm going to duplicate this so that if I erase back too much, I have an option. First things first, I'm going to go right along the edges with kind of a medium. That's still pretty small. That's only 62 pixels. And I'm going to use my stylus and just go along the edges so that I don't have a hard edge. I have a tendency in these to accidentally leave. Don't need that. And it's a little bit hard to see. So I'm just going to take that hard edge away so that I can darken that dresser. And then we can go in with their hands and clean that up. Okay. So let's see where we're at now. Okay. I like it. I'm a fan. I'm going to, first of all, start at these, and I'm going to squint into the camera. I apologize. It's gross, but okay. So I'm actually just going to lower that a little bit because we don't need that. Oh, that's better. That's much better. Okay, so I can kind of see the edge here, and I'm at 100%, 15 pixels. It's a small little I'm not going to erase his knee back. I might eventually, because a little more light would be falling right here. It would be blocked by actually I always say, like, if I say I'm not going to do it, then that means I'm for sure gonna do it. Now we'll go back to 15. And I see down here that I'm gonna go to this bottom layer because I see that his knee got chopped a little. So I'm just gonna handle that right now. Because those little tiny details, I might not come across that section again. All right, so we're back. And there's not much of a highlight there. So I'm gonna take my burn tool, a little bit bigger, and just kind of create just the slightest I might end up having to go in there and use okay, so there we go. I just want to grab those highlights back and go right along their hands. And I'm using, I know you can't see my hand right now, but I'm using the same kind of strokes that you'd use sketching, like with pencil or charcoal or even pen and ink, with almost hatch mark style. And I'm sure to lift every once in a while because I definitely want to grab those highlights back. So the most important thing right now are the hands, making sure the hands get erased back. And I love the painterly quality that the smudge tool allows. And this is when I've got to be real careful because there's almost like the creation of Adam hands. I'm not comparing myself to Michelangelo, but just the way his hand is being held, which was unintentional, but okay. And then see if her hand is matching up to where his thumb is. There's definitely a color scenario under that's happening with these fingers that need to be addressed. And it's so dark right now. I'll probably just go in there and, whoops, that got sloppy, and kind of hand paint when it's all said and done. Because right now there are these little overlapping edges and stuff. Until I'm done and I know that I'm done with that backdrop, with that background, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Because her little finger kind of got, it looks like she was drawing with charcoal actually. And she wasn't. Okay. So just erasing back the hands, and then I'll make sure to get the highlights of their clothes too. Now she's got this great texture in hers. I think probably we're gonna lose that texture. I'm okay with, I like the texture, but I'm okay with losing it too, just to have that smeared painterly kind of feeling. And since I'm not smearing right now, I'm not too worried about going along with the curvature of their bodies or anything like that. His hand, the colors that are happening there, that's gonna bother me, so I need to get those cleaned up. Did I miss a spot over here? It feels like. Definitely lots of cleanup opportunities coming up. And this will give a nice, whoops, too much. Her little jacket is very dark, so it's kind of hard to see when I keep going. There we go. And I'd rather have an edge in this scenario than that we can go in and she had a zipper right there that's kind of stealing some light. So we'll just take that out completely because you're not going to be able to tell what it is. So it would make more sense visually, just let it go. And then I'm going to go bigger and just, that will be completely unnecessary to, now do we need to go into the dress anymore? That's kind of blocked. Okay, so we might go into the chair because I don't think I did the chair over here. There we go. And I'm just running along the highlight, just right along the edge. And even when I go back a little further, the highlight's the only thing that's making a big difference. So we'll just go back to full screen and I'm going to save this as the next progression. We're on 16, now we're on 17. Okay, so both of the chairs probably could use a little extra. It's going to be weird now. Okay, so we'll just wait a minute until my computer catches up to us. There we go. And for some reason that's a little scary. It didn't save. I'll just give it a minute. There we go. Okay. So that being darker makes a big difference. What I don't like about it is that it's right at her chin. Oh, how I wish I had noticed that before. So, our options are to lower. Here, what I'm going to do is duplicate this, and then merge those. Oh, I don't like that, and that's going to be an issue, I'm afraid, because all right, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Against my better judgment, what is happening? Okay. All right, here, I'll tell you what I am going to do. Save this. I'm going to close this out and open it back in because it's acting weird. And then let's clean up the hands, and maybe that will all kind of fix itself. And maybe we can like bring up the corner of her shirt a little bit and bring her hair forward, and it won't be quite such a stark, because right now, right where the opening of her neck is, that line goes right into it and chops her compositionally, and I don't like that at all. So let's duplicate this layer, and oh my gosh, why is it doing this? Maybe I've got too much open, I don't know. So here's what we're gonna work on a little bit is a melancholy image that I intended to start yesterday because this was supposed to be simple and I keep adding stuff to it. So let's try this again. I'm not gonna save it because I don't think I did anything. And cross our fingers that my zoom tool isn't being weird. Maybe that's sitting out as dust off the stylus. Okay. Oh man. Well, I'm not sure what's happening there, but that's okay. All right, so there's still an edge left on this chair. And of course that's not going to work because we want that nice rich highlight. We want those highlights all across the image to give that dynamic range of and I was so careful not to I don't even know why there are like some little random lines and stuff on there that shouldn't be. All right. Before I go any further, I definitely want to put some highlights. Oh, that's what I needed to do. I didn't erase back. Could have been bad. Okay, so let's duplicate this one and then get rid of that so that we can erase back the locket because it's a very important part of the story. Now I'm going to specifically not erase back the camera left highlights because they wouldn't be in the lamplight. I'm going to be careful when I'm doing these long strokes that I don't slip at the end. And when I do, we're all grateful that I'm an artist, not a surgeon. There we go. So just make sure, nope, I missed some. And the finishing touches at the end here will be a little kind of a glare. Definitely want to go into the chain some more. Make sure that I'm not leaving a halo. If I did, that's not the end of the world. We can always clean that up, but it sure is easier to just take care of it now. Okay, so now we'll go here, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller. And if we only get the bright side, that's okay. The color, none of that's going to matter that much on the chain, but I just want to keep that nice texture. That's why we didn't paint over that. Okay, and then we'll go a little bigger just to get that's a little. Okay, so I'm going to flatten the whole thing, duplicate, and save it as the next progression because we're definitely getting to a point now where we'll have a lot of different copies of this so that we can go back really easily if we want to. All right, so I'm not going to zoom back out the way normally. Oh, now it's working. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to work with a very small, and when I say very small, like 3 or 4 pixels. And kind of just paint. Let's see. Okay. So let's get, this whole chunk of hand is like kind of a weird color. It's losing its hand texture. So first things first, we'll go big. That's actually not that. That's pretty close. So I'm going to merge those and then get my burn tool out and go really small, again like 3, and just go back in with just like you would in a drawing, just define the edges, deepen the shadows. Sometimes that smearing, this is the downside of that, where you're kind of draining color, and when you back up, we're at such a small size that when you back up, it makes a huge difference to have these definitions created. So I'm going to go a little bit larger. So try to drag that even into and then now see, for whatever reason my stylus has a hard time with the clone tool. And then no, that's a little much. We'll go just trim a little bit off. And these are kind of those things that you wouldn't necessarily notice them if they were off, but you might not be able to put your finger on it. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here and define these edges. No, I'm not, because that was dodge. I'm going to go back in here. There we go. And define these edges. Take 2. There we go. Okay. So I'm really happy with where her hands are at. So this is before. You can just see the kind of color drained around here. Not a lot of definition, weird little fingertips sticking out. And we just kind of cleaned that up and gave it a normal glow. So we'll duplicate that again so that if things go sideways, then, you know, we can just delete the whole layer. And so I just want that edging gone. You can see where I erased back too much. The wind is going crazy. The wind chimes over there are singing. I think we're supposed to get some storms tonight or tomorrow. But it felt like spring today. Okay. And you can kind of see it's hard, it's a little bit vague, these shadows of the sideboard back here. So I want to make sure that I'm staying in line with what is alluded to back behind us. And if not, then I want to stay in the same color family. So right now I'm just worrying about the edges, and then we can go in and fix the color. And then hands were the great divide in as art majors. Can you draw hands? Or do you always put people like with their hands, like you just do a headshot, or you put they're like sitting on their hands? Or I saw a lot of creative ways to hide hands in artwork. And then I had one professor that specifically went out of his way. We spent basically a whole semester drawing, sculpting hands out of various materials just to kind of get over that weird hand aversion. I never minded hands too much. So my parents at their house have a lot of hand sculptures. Cardboard, clay, wood. Was carved out of wood. Lots of hand art. There we go. And I want to keep that age. And he might be insulted by that, but I want to keep that. Let's see. That doesn't have a ton of color. I want to stay away from the grays because I could always recolor the whole thing, but I like that color shift that's a natural part of skin and it's hard to replicate. So I want to hang on to that where it is normally. And this feels like it's got some of the original grains, so I'm just going to kind of slide over that with my tool. And this we for sure need to clean up. And I think maybe I just avoided this. Maybe, see, I did what I was telling you about other people doing. Just avoid the hands. Not that important, but it's a lie. Make those hands count. This is kind of a big brush for this, which is, it's 12 pixels. So I go silent. I apologize. Or maybe you're glad. I don't know. But regardless. There we go. So I'm just getting a glimmer. I still want to kind of handle that finger because it's, okay, so I could just title this whole thing "When 6 Pixels is Too Big." So I want to keep the pattern. I'm going to keep the texture. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm trying really hard not to rush through this because I know that I've got a looming. Okay, so here we've fixed the hands, and it's so like it's so minute. The difference is so subtle, but Okay, I do want to do one more change here. I think I'm going to, probably not the whole thing. Oh wait, let's go, because this part got, I'm gonna give this a touch more color. Just warm it up a little bit so that it matches hers more. And then we'll erase this back so that we can see what we're doing. And just take that hard edge away. Okay. So, pretty subtle, extremely subtle for me because I'm colorblind. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bigger brush and just burn that down a little. And then a smaller brush. And then a dodge. Because I don't think I did that yet. And merge those so that they're both getting that same treatment. And just the illusion of those hands back there. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I think this hand probably needs to be warmed up a little since we warmed up the others. And it's up here by the warm light source. So I just want to have that both on screen and match their faces. And I realize this is probably something other people can see much easier. And just draw along here. Okay. These are the subtle changes where one change at a time, you're kind of going, is it even worth it? Did that make a difference? And then you back up and you flip back and forth between when you had the changes and when you didn't, and it's a huge difference. And that's definitely, in my experience, been the difference between some serious wins in competition and just kind of mediocrity, you know, or Facebook wins. A lot of likes, that kind of win. Those are nice too. Okay, so before we flatten, just take another look. It's a pretty solid difference. Now, do we want to tone that down just a touch? Yeah. So merge. Okay. So I'm going to flatten, duplicate, and then save as a new version. We're at 19. That's usually a solid sign that I'm getting to the first final. We're getting close to final number 1. It's very exciting. All right, so one thing I need to do, want to do, whatever, is I'm going to duplicate this again and come in here and with a bigger brush than that, maybe not that big though, and give this a nice once over. And it'll be subtle because it's pretty grainy image. It's not an important part to the storytelling, but I do like the texture, so I want to hold on to it. There is this strong gradient. So and there's a lot of grain in here that I want to blend out just to help it feel like a cohesive part of the image. And I like the element that it brings to the lighting. This kind of dimensional texture. So because of this strong gradient, I'm going to have to be very aware of that when I'm working on this edge. See, it's got like these light, I don't know, kind of pixelation along the edge. And this is actually a shadow, so I'm going to bring the edge of the table up as well. And gosh, the time is just like blowing by. I was hoping this would be real quick, like just touch up, prep for competition, and go about my life. But I've got a full schedule at the studio tomorrow. So this is not something that I'm going to have time to dwell on at any point other than today. And I can't even tell, like this is hard to even tell if I've gone over it or not. But it's gonna be, I think some little highlights on here would be nice. I'm gonna make sure that it fades a little bit. It's a little too much. So let's see if we can maybe pull off adjusting this, which would be really cool. There we go. We can do that. There we go. Awesome. My mouse is kind of jumped. Oh, this one's not looking quite so smooth. We'll blend that. I'm gonna have to do another gradient anyway on the lamp because I changed the size of the shade and didn't change the size of the light fall off, which is not a huge deal. That's super easy to change. It's just one of those things. If I'd been a little more careful, then I wouldn't have to be worrying about it now. So I think I do want to, let me back this up a little bit, and I wasn't going to worry too much about the lamp. Definitely got a blue cast going on right there. That's just kind of where I darkened it. But before I fix that, I'm going to go, whoop, that's really big. And I've got some edging happening there. I think I had some over there that I fixed. I don't know what's going on there. But he's dropping pennies or something. Okay, so just make sure it's easy to make this kind of bumpy since I'm using my mouse especially. And I'm even seeing a blue cast. Nope. See, I did it. And if I can see a blue cast, everybody can see a blue cast. I like the little shadow of the inside of the lamp though. I think that's kind of cool. So I want to hold on to that. Kind of swoosh that back. Okay. So let's back up from this and go to this one. And then we're going to warm this up a bit. And then, hi, how are you? Got a crazy glow going on here. I'm going to take this way back down, but I want to get rid of the red. Or the blue. That's still, there's weird things. I'm pretty good. I'm struggling with this lamp right now. So what might end up happening is I just take the color out altogether, which is what I'm leaning towards right now. So let's do this. Well, it just gets more, just gets more blue. Oh, it's actually coming up as red. Let's see. What color does that look like? That didn't change anything. All right, I'm obsessing about that and I don't think that's gonna help at all. So I'm just gonna forget that for a minute. All right, so I want to decide what to do with her hair over here. I should have just brushed it when I did the picture, but I didn't. What I have not done, now that I'm zooming in here, is painted it. So I'm just going to smudge a little bit the way I would a drawing. Get rid of that little highlight. Okay, I am working on what started out as, I'll show you. And it gives me an excuse to just stop for a minute. But it was supposed to be a really simple, you know, cut and dry image that was just going to be these two holding a locket, and it was going to be called So You'll Remember. And then I started adding stuff to the image, and this is where we're at in the course of a few hours. So now I've gone from what would have been a photographic open entry into a master artist entry. But I like it a lot better than I expected to, too, so it's not all bad. I'm not complaining. I mean, I guess I am, but whatever. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of follow the natural texture of her hair. And then what I'll probably do is fill this in a little bit, tone down the highlight, because that's more of a highlight than she'd be getting from that lamp, that blue lamp. And then I might even have to go in the color, because there's like, I'm seeing maybe some weird color casts. There are like maybe some, ooh, I don't know what just happened. Maybe some, it's kind of graying almost. And then I've not smudged out the chairs, so I'm probably gonna have to do that. I didn't mind the texture, it was pretty subtle. But the more that gets kind of smudged, the more those are going to stand out. So before I go any further, I'm going to see if I have a better, why didn't I brush her hair? That would have been a good idea. So, okay. I don't really see a change there that's going to help. So we'll just digitally brush it. Uh-oh, I clicked too many times. I'm going to save that before anything else happens, because I got to give her a minute. Okay. All right. All right, well, I guess I'm just going to work on whatever it's going to let me work on. There we go. We'll go with that. Okay. So I don't mind too much, honestly, that that it's darkening a little bit. There's no light source in the image, camera right, so there's no reason that she would. Oh my gosh, it's gonna do this again. Okay, so I've got all these squigglies. Okay, that part I like. Here we go. So I do want to address what's going on. I think I'm going to bring her shoulder up a little bit if my computer will cooperate, because I don't want the dresser cutting her off right below the neck. My average layer count. Well, that's hard to say, because when I compress, I'll get to like maybe 30 or 40 layers, and then I'll compress them down and condense them into a few, but then I'll save a new copy. So if you add all the layers up that I potentially have saved for a single image, it's probably hundreds. I'm a picture hoarder for sure. But I try to keep it down, especially at this point when I'm kind of fine tuning. I'll try to keep it down less than 10. But you see how effective I am at that. Right now it's good because I just saved it. But it adds up fast, especially in the beginning. For whatever reason, it will not zoom in. There we go. It worked. Oh my gosh, that's weird. It's like possessed. So I just want this weird outline gone. I think it's probably where I was. Yes, I'm very grateful for cloud storage. And I use Backblaze. Not sponsored, but I use Backblaze, and they saved me and my like 2 terabytes of storage of stored images a few years ago. So I will sing their praises forever. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, since we're down here really close and my computer's being weird. Oh. I'm gonna go in and just give some like nice little highlights around the face where the lamp would be reaching. Because this real bright highlight by her neck is probably gonna go. Right. I completely agree. And I check it all the time. Are you constantly checking your Backblaze to make sure that everything is where it should be? And my wind chimes. Okay. Oh, what is... So my computer spazzed out at some point, and that is so annoying. But that is why I obsessively keep copies of everything for just dumb stuff like that. It would have taken forever if I just hadn't noticed it and didn't have another copy. Okay, I'm up to progress 20. Okay, so let's just test this out here. Let's test this theory. Amazon Drive, okay. I know. I've never used Amazon Drive for image storage, because I'm always thinking maybe we won't use Amazon anymore, but I should just go ahead and accept the fact we're always going to use Amazon. All right, so I'm just running not... I can't tell. Did I just run that texture over her hair? Yes, I did. Is that coming from down there? That's weird. I'm gonna go back, start over, redo, and start from down here. Because I'm okay with her hair being a little messy, but I want to take care of that highlight. Gonna block. Okay, so I'm definitely needing to get rid of that. I'm gonna duplicate that because ooh. Okay. That is, there's a lot going on here. I'm coming from over here to trace along her back and block my light for a second. And it's like 2 layers are meeting, so it's a little bit muddy. I'm gonna go in and smudge it. So this is probably gonna get corrected anyway, but just in case, I'm gonna go ahead in here and clean it up. And this is one I'd really like to print and see how it's going to okay, so I'm gonna get a bigger because we were down to 10. Oh my gosh, the ghosts. I'm haunted. There we go. We'll just give her a haircut. She didn't need all that long hair anyway. She's gonna come. She's gonna get me for that. Okay, now we took care of that halo behind her back. This is definitely gonna need a printing first because I don't know how much of that texture I want to keep. If it's distracting or if it's helpful. That's helpful. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's my mouse. And not a ghost. But you don't know. And I don't want to move the whole thing. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll just do it like this. Technical difficulties. There we go. So the light source is camera left of her face. So I want to take that out, but I do want to keep the color in there, at least a touch. Okay, now just hide all these to make sure I get those hard edges gone. Okay, I'll probably compress these. I probably should have, all right. Oh, I hate to do it because it's such a little bitty difference, but I'm gonna redo what I just did to grab the top of her hair. Particle shop, what's that? So I'm gonna get the hard edges and get it away from her face because we already warmed her face up. And now we'll make sure that we did not leave and then I'm gonna burn. That shoulder is just not going down without a fight. Oh, okay. I used Corel for a while for paint, and I just really like what's going on there. Some weird color shifting. Okay. This highlight is going to be stubborn. Before I flatten that though, I'm going to take down the, yeah, that's better. Yeah, I would love to. Totally fine with me. Okay, I like the texture I'm seeing here. Maybe that's the upside of, I'm actually going to go ahead and flatten and duplicate and save it as a new progression. And it's stressing me out a little bit. Thank you. I will check that out. It's stressing me out that I don't have a lot of time left. And I have about 24 hours, but I've got a full day at the studio tomorrow. So this might be something we need to print tonight and just see what's going on. I think what I'll do is just grab a chunk and I want to fill in this spot in her hair. So I'll just grab warp, which is one of my favorites. If I had to pick favorite tools, right now it's probably, this is one of them. And I'm gonna pop that up too, just so that I can make sure that I don't have any edges left. And then I'll go back down and give it some dimension. Whoops, why did I do that? I wanted to merge those and then duplicate. All right, and save. So I'm gonna go down here to this edge now that my Zoom is working again. And just take care of this highlight. I think it's just the light bounce on her zipper, not anything necessary to the image or to her look. Because I think we're gonna pull that collar up and get the dresser is kind of a horizon line, so I don't want that cutting her off at the neck. So we'll back up just a little and then grab warp tool again. And you never know, that zipper could be, that could be the difference. That could be, honestly, the zipper could be the thing that I lay awake at night thinking, I should have taken that zipper out. Okay. Lots of weird edges happening. Oh, that's annoying. Who picked this outfit? I'd like to say she did, but I did. There you go. The zipper. It's always the zipper. Now she's got kind of a high collar thing going on, so I'm not sure See, it's the zipper. That needed to happen. I don't think I like the collar though. Let's go back here. This is what I obsess about. So there we go. So she's still got a neck. We're not giving that up. Okay. And then we'll bring her hair forward just a little bit. It just gives me a chance to warp something else because I can't stop. Okay. I forgot what I was gonna do. What was I gonna do? Oh, her hair. No, I don't think I will. I changed my mind. I'm gonna save it. Okay. So I've got to move the lamp. I'm putting off moving the back of that table because it's annoying. And it's not going to make that big of a difference. But just like with the zipper, it's all I will see. I can't actually. Is that doing anything? Okay, yeah, it is. It is. Nope. Too much. Too far. Okay. So I'll just paint over this actually. I feel like a lot of these lines are going to be visible and I just can't see them right now. Like that. I picked the wrong color. Some color shifting, some shadows. Oh, gross. All right. All right. All right. Do I want to smudge the chairs, their clothes? I don't know. I don't know what I want. So I'm gonna select the inverse here and nope, not erase that. Nope, why does it keep doing that? There we go. And that is not, I haven't really yet. Do you have suggestions for me? Because I'm open to them. Because I have not really explored too much. I tried to because I was making sure that I was like putting my stuff in the right place. But I would love to find some other similar channels. So hit me with some links. This is like, I'm obsessing about this and it's not gonna make a difference at all. Okay. All right, I'm gonna flatten, duplicate. Okay, I love that. I've tried to find some other similar topics and I can't, so I'm probably using it wrong. So how do you find the channels that you're looking for? Because that is something that I would like to know for a multitude of reasons. Because the ones that I found in other ways. I found through Instagram or really just Instagram because I'm super duper new to this. All right. So let's see. Compositionally, I'm pretty happy with where it's at. Their faces right now are both on the rule of thirds intersection there. Okay, I'm gonna do that when I get off of here. I'm gonna find some. Do you have a Twitch channel? I mean, obviously. I don't even know what I'm saying. But, so like if I click on your name, does it go, do you have a channel? Is that how this works? Oh, cool. What do I do? Do I click on your name? I'm writing it down. That's probably not how that's supposed to work. So while their faces are both, it's a little bit, Yeah, I mean, their faces are both on the thirds, on the line of thirds. But because he's bigger than she is, it's a little bit left side heavy. Um, I guess I'm okay with that. Do I want to switch it? It's probably going to look really weird. Ooh, I don't know. I'm writing it down. Thank you. I wrote it down wrong. I'm an early bird, so this is really late for me. Okay, I need public opinion here. I feel like I might like it flipped, but I'm not sure. Right now, it's kind of a triangular, but it's a backwards triangular composition because he's at a tension point. But I think maybe I like it this way because yes, I'm obsessed with the business side of photography. I'm total type A. I have degrees in fine arts and in marketing, and I love it. Man, my dad's gonna take offense to that. Just kidding. I think so too. I can't quite pinpoint why, and that bothers me a little bit because, did I crop it? It says I cropped it. I didn't mean to. Okay, yeah, I like it better like that. It's kind of heavy on the left, but correct. Yes, like we read. But that actually puts him at a tension point on the left-handed rule of thirds. So she's actually at our main point, and then the lamp breaks it up a little bit. Oh, that's the one thing I was going to toy around with a little bit was making the lamp and all that stuff fade a little. I should have planned for this if I was going to try it, but I might anyway. Yeah, that's true. Him handing it to her does make a big difference in the story, and I want to, while I'm thinking about it, give his glasses a little, because I had the lighter background. I had the lighter background that just give a little highlight in there. There we go. And maybe I hate that. We'll try it. Yeah, I don't like that at all. We'll just forget that ever happened. All right. So I've got a few options right now. I could go in and smudge the chair, smudge their clothes. I really don't feel like, I like the textures that they are. I don't feel like that's going to add much because I like how soft their skin and hair and face and everything is. And we've got a lot of textures going. Her clothing has a distinctive linear texture. The chairs do. So I might just leave that alone for the time being. I wonder if maybe I give the highlights here a little bit of attention and kind of help lead the viewer that way. Fabric is my favorite thing to dodge and burn. It's so beautiful. The light fall off and the shadows. Okay, this is definitely one. It's so dark. This is definitely one that I want to print before I submit, which I hate. I wish I didn't want to print it. because I'm really running low on time. This is my own fault. And it's also the snowstorm's fault. So not entirely my fault. Oh, it looks like I was already up here. This is my favorite. Okay, whatever. Oh, there's some there. And I've got a weird little thing going on up here. Let's take care of that. Looks like just a little tiny bit left from layers being compressed. Okay. Yes, that makes a huge difference. Okay, I kind of don't, I don't love the lamp. I don't do all of my own printing, but I'll print test prints. But I have, for my clients, I'm real picky about the products that I offer, and each individual printer that I use has a specific product that they excel at. So I end up using different printers for every product almost. Okay. So I'm just gonna check and make sure, see if I'm clipped anywhere or burnt anywhere. And there, when I'm going in here, you can see where I pieced the chair together kind of sloppily. You can see where my dark spots are. And what's that there? Okay, so there's a sleeve that's pretty close to being clipped, probably where I darkened that dresser. So I might want to go in and just grab some of those highlights, and I can see now this I don't like. So I want to make sure I go in and grab this highlight, this one, bring that back a little bit. She's got a little bit of haloing around her, probably where I colored. So for my printers, I use Miller's and Graphy Studio. That's my current obsession, and Guild Canvas. And they're unparalleled in their each specific product. I'm just like blown away by how good they are, what they do. All right, let's go the other way. Perfect, not a speck. And then as I'm lightening like this, I can kind of peek and see what's really grabbing attention. So that one finger maybe needs to be brought down a little bit. Oh, I've never used Bay Photo for anything. I've heard good things, but that's just, they've never offered. I don't know. I started using Miller's pretty early in my career, and they're so fast that it's hard to even like compete with that. Oh, slow would bother me. That's the only thing about Graphy being in Italy. It takes some time, but their products are so unique. I've been trying to get some stateside printers to offer similar things, and nobody does yet. But really, like, I'm pretty loyal once once I see your work. And they're, considering they're on the other side of the world, they're pretty fast. Okay. Merge and duplicate and save. I use Miller's for my volume work when I do schools and sports and stuff like that, because it's so easy now, and they really don't, they can go straight to the client, cut out me, cut out the club, and everybody wins. Okay, so let's try this again. Just a little cheat here. So the very first thing to light up is their faces, their hands, the locket. So maybe we tone down this back scenario a little bit more. This could get dicey. But how do we want to do this? More contrast, less contrast? I'm kind of leaning towards less. I have used white wall. It was for one specific product, and I think maybe it was like a canvas, like a pop out kind of thing. I don't use them anymore, so whatever it was, I don't offer. But I had way too many. Oh no, bumped. I had way too many printers, and it was getting confusing. So I tried to pare it down, but I am real picky with that stuff, because I want the longevity is, I feel like, one of the most, the quality of course is important, probably the most important, but the longevity is important too, because I don't want somebody to spend thousands of dollars on, you know, a beautiful heirloom for their family and it doesn't last a generation even. All that color drained out when I darkened it. And I forgot I had lipstick on, so I probably just like smeared it all over my face. Whoops. Oh, and there's another. I want to go in there again and get those highlights in his sleeve where oops, the mouse is going crazy again. And one thing I'm going to do is let that come out too, because I really just want to get rid of that super strong highlight. I keep seeing little bitty differences that I want to like jump in and fix real quick. So I'm going to duplicate this and then combine it here. Wait, before I do that, did I already get their faces off of there? Okay. Merge those. Oh, Miller's isn't. I've never. Where are you at? Where are you based out of? Or are you shipping to clients internationally? We have a, uh-oh. He's looking gray in the forehead there. My town has, oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I have a really exceptionally international clientele because we're in a college town. So that's affected what I offer. but I don't generally do the shipping myself. They're usually preparing for when it's time to move back home or okay. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna overthink everything. And at that point might have been like a few hours ago. Whoops. Okay. Whoops. Do you keep track of where you've sent work? I wish I had kept closer count over the years. I know I have. I'm at 29 countries. I've got work in 29 countries. But show me, what's the farthest? Let's hear it. I think that's such a cool part of this job. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I've had a lot in the Middle East and across some parts of Europe. I don't think I've had. Oh wait, no, I do have. I had one in Australia and a few in India as well. Okay. I was gonna do some. Oh, no, I think I already did that. I know what I was. I think I'm going to duplicate this and bring it, because I think I want to bring a little bit of brightness back here. Just a tiny bit. Oh. Nope. How about I erase the wrong one? There we go. Somebody's door squeaking. Merge those and duplicate those. All right. Okay. What needs to happen here? I think I'm getting to where I'm ready to send it off. Just because I think partly it's just because I know that oh, I was going to do that sleeve. That's what I was going to do. I know that my competition is going to end. Oh, that's too bad. Why did I do that? So that's close enough. Let's just see if I can bring any of that detail back. See, that was just being a little bit careless. And now I've got to pay for it. So right there and right there, I've got the opportunity to bring some color back, but it's really hard to see. Can you see it better in this screen? Let's do this the hard way. Okay, so just erase that back. Same there. All right, that helped a little bit, but I wonder if it's worth going back into, I wonder what progression that was, maybe. Maybe this one. This will be able to tell us. Okay. So you can already see, hi kitty, that, come here. Oh, she's scared. I did something there that I don't think it's anything. I think that's just something I'm obsessing about that's not really gonna make a difference. Actually, I think that made it worse. So, come here, Zuzu. You tell me if she starts knocking stuff off the shelves behind me. All right, it still has some information, so I'm just gonna, actually, I think that does absolutely nothing for the image as a whole, and it's at a dark spot. So I like the flow of the image, and I think we're in a good place. And I think I'm going to enter this into the ASP competition as, I can't see what that is. I think I'm going to enter this as a master artist image. Okay, so I'm going to save this as final. The kitty's coming in. Or, no, I'm not. I'm going to save it as progress 23 because I don't trust myself that that's actually final. So the difference between in the competition, the differences are photographic open versus master artist. Master artists, you have to put the guide images so they see what you started with and where you ended up, whereas in photographic open, they are simply looking at your final product. In master artists, you can use elements that you didn't photograph yourself, that you can use like stock images and stuff. I've never done that. The only images that I didn't personally photograph were the images of my like great grandparents. So not much I can do about that. Yes, it's the same competition. We just gave it a fancy name. It's exactly the same. So now I've got to do my least favorite part, which is the presentation. And I'm really bad at this part. So I just see what I can be like absolutely. There'll be a little bit of everything. And you can watch judging. I wanted to stream judging. I don't know if that's allowed. Because you always kind of, when you see your stuff judge and you see other people's judge, you kind of want to rebuttal. I think that'd be fun to watch. My kids, I've taught my kids how to judge and what they're looking for and the number scale and everything. And they're really good. They're really good at it. Alarmingly good. Makes me uncomfortable. Okay. So I'm going to change my canvas size, and this takes, let's just do 20%. Let's see. we'll do a new layer. I actually don't hate that color. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm super paranoid about copyright infringement, which is why you just hear me talk and there's no music, because I'm never going to test those waters. But there's an idea for the future. Okay. Whoops. All right, so let's just slide this right up here. And then I'm gonna fill this. No, I like that color. Here we go. Is that black? Is the color that I like black? I can't tell. Yeah, I wonder about that, because I know a solid amount about photographic copyright, but I don't really know about other kinds. Okay, oh no, that's not unreasonable at all. I would like that. That's better than hearing me continually say which is this is what you're getting now. All right, so I'm just gonna put a real subtle stroke on this, like 2 pixels, maybe a little lighter than that. Nope, not that. Something a little more. Let's try that. There, I like it. Super simple. And I do have to pull up. Oh, okay. Let's hear it. I'm going to pull up the images. I completely agree with you. That's why I love presentation in printed images. Obviously, it's an important part. You can't just, throw a piece of photographic paper at them. But, and maybe if they see how badly this raw image sucks, they'll be like, oh, okay, she came a long way. I completely agree. I think a lot of people agree with that, actually. It is. And I'm not good at it, and that's part of the reason I don't like it. Okay, so I think I've got all my elements there that I just have to throw on there. And then you'll see where I came from, and I'm going to put a kind of a low opacity cover. I don't know what to call it. Just a low opacity layer of black over that, because I want it to be about, oh, very nice, bucking the system, coming out ahead even without presentation. I entered my first PBA competition without any presentation because I didn't know any better. I was brand new. And I went through the phase where I'm like, I just don't understand my art. Oh, they understood it just fine. It's just that it was bad. And I'm always amazed by the really elaborate, beautiful presentations, because that's probably not ever going to be me. With like deckled edge, torn print, multiple. I don't know that I agree with that. I think that some of them are just, there's always going to be that layer of subjectivity where one creeps into, and it was probably mine. I had 2 Grand Imaging Award nominations this year. I'm sure that some people were looking at them going, that's top 10. I don't care. But even though some of those squeak through, there are some that are just like incredibly creative. And it's interesting to me, the judging is far more valuable to me than ordering critiques or anything like that. I did for a while, and then for a while I would order critique at the district level so that I could get things corrected before IPC, but I don't even do that anymore. I'd rather just ask trusted colleagues or friends to tell me what I'm missing. Or people on Twitch. But I'm new to this, so this is the first time I'm doing that. I was thinking about taking the judges test and start working on that this year, just as the next. Oh gosh, I just hate presentation. It's not helpful to the image. I think a good critique is more valuable for sure, but the critiques that I was getting back from the judges, you can watch the judging live, which I find more interesting than anything because I'm seeing not only my own images, but I'm seeing other people's images and considering my thoughts on it versus. So when they get like a good back and forth going, it's really cool. But the critiques that I was getting back were like not super helpful in like making it better or anything like that. Okay, so this line is really bothering me and I hate that. I want it to not be bothering me. But it is. Do I want to fix that? Is that bothering anybody else? This line where I moved the shade and I didn't move the light. It doesn't bother me down here. I actually really like it down here, which is lucky because that would be a way bigger pain to change. But I'm going to make these smaller because my guide images are really bright and I don't want them to take away from I wonder if I could just make that bigger. Oh, yes. And that is my images that did so well last year are hugely credited to the friends of mine that gave me feedback personally, just message back and forth images. And they saw things that I didn't see and I was able to tweak it and relook at it. And I did the same for them. And that is invaluable, far more than anything, judging anything else. But, just like with anything, you kind of just have to make sure that you're getting it from a good source. And I was really lucky to have that crew to help me out. Okay, so I think we did it. This is I'm not going to enter it tonight. I'm going to enter it in the morning. So I hope I remember. I'll write some notes, whatever. And then save that. This is going to go in the ASP competition. And as far as ultimate goals, I've got my CPP, I've got my master's, I've got my craftsman. So I've gotten 2 GIA nominations. I would really love to get more because that was fun. But I just want to keep getting better and improving my storytelling and my details and my work. And like that, I know that's kind of cheesy, but that's why I'm here. And I got to do the coolest client work this week, and I want to move in that direction. And I have to remember the name of this. What did I name this? So you'll remember. Okay. Oh my gosh. Rolled their eyes. That's bananas. I don't. And did they just, maybe they didn't know? I went to imaging this year and I was totally shameless in passing out my card with my, and I've got like 5 followers. I have 14 followers now. So thank you guys very much. Them big time. But I was, everybody starts somewhere, and I'm at the start, and just passing those cards out. And I'm sure that a lot of people were kind of like hesitant, but that's okay. Planting the seed and trying to find the folder that I want to put these. Okay, so you'll remember, there we go. And I need to resize it, but to what? Let me look at one of the other ones that oh, here we go. Okay, here's another one for this. And it's either, uh-oh. Did I enter that? Oh no, okay, it's 4,000. I thought I entered that. I must have just pulled that. Okay, so, nope, not yet. All right. Okay, it's a little bit taller, so 4,000 pixels. And there they are. So we'll see how this does during judging. And I will get it entered tomorrow. And I have another image that I want to do, which there's no way I'm gonna have it done because the deadline is less than 24 hours now. But the next one is the kind of melancholy Christmas one that I have been, and now I can't think of the name. Oh, Home for the Holidays. So a little bit different depiction than that would normally be. And you can see I talked my dad into that again. Community over content. Okay, I'm there for it. Okay. Okay. That's what attracted me to Twitch, was the back and forth, because I really, really love going and speaking to, it's a lot of PPA guilds, but I've taught on IPS Mastermind and stuff like that too. But as much as I love just making videos and stuff, I love the back and forth, the conversation and the kind of side road conversations that you take too. And you guys are going to keep me company while I edit, and this is stuff I'd be doing anyway. Oh, thank you. Well, good. I appreciate your feedback, because it's hard to talk to nobody, when there's no engagement or anything. That's what I love. I'm going to check out some other Twitch channels, and I will be back here tomorrow because I have more work to do. So come chat with me again. And follow me here, subscribe on YouTube. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the feedback and for the help getting started, because I'm the new kid around here. Thank you. Have a great night.
That's why you my mommy. Please.